Hi everybody and welcome back to Time to Go. Bob here. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel. So today's going to be a first for the channel. We're going to be doing a bit of an upgrade on my SKX. Carlos from Lumed Ceramic Bezel Inserts, or LCBI, was nice enough to send in a few inserts as well as a couple of coin edge bezels for a couple of different Seiko models. So if you're watching this video, do not consider this a tutorial. My experience level when it comes to modding is really quite low. And for all I know, there might be a big giant fail on the thumbnail of this video. So we're going to try it together here, and hopefully the goal here is just to get it on successfully so that it's working, and hopefully maybe the alignment is decent when it comes to the insert. The inserts, by the way, we're looking at are not ceramic inserts today. These ones are Sapphire inserts. They're Lumed Sapphire inserts. So hopefully it goes good. Let's spin the camera around and get into it. All right, so let's just start this off with a quick wrist check. And today I am wearing the Sea King, and the reason being is Sea King is actually owned by the same owner of LCBI. They make a rock solid diver. I am really happy with this one. I did a review on this probably 2 or 3 months ago, and definitely worth checking out. I will leave a link to Sea King as well as LCBI in the description below. Now, earlier I mentioned that I had very little experience when it comes to modding, and it's basically zero experience, to be honest with you, so this could be interesting. I did pop a bezel off of an SKX a couple of years back. It had a really gritty bezel action, and I popped it off, cleaned it out, and sure enough, that was fine after that. I'm hoping this goes as smooth. I do have a crystal press here to pop the new bezel on, although the last time I was able to do it by hand. So hopefully I can do it by hand again this time. So let's kick this off with removing the bracelet. Okay, so this is going to be my first attempt at doing this type of thing on camera, and if it gets to the point where I feel like I'm going to scratch the watch or do more damage than necessary, I'm going to take it off camera. I was able to get that one off okay. When it comes to the bezel alignment and the adhesive that I'm going to be using, that likely will end up being done off camera, but I'll do my best to get as much as I can. Hang on a second. Even this is a bit of a trick. Okay. So let's get the bracelet out of the way here. Okay, bracelet is off. So just realized I haven't shown you guys up close what we're going to be installing here. So we've got the coin edge bezel from LCBI. I've seen a few guys install these on YouTube and they look really cool. I've seen some pictures on Instagram, very sharp looking on the watch, so I'm excited to see what it looks like in person. And secondly, we are going to be doing just a straight black sapphire insert. The reason I'm going with straight black, for me when it comes to modding, I like the idea of not really changing so much the look of the watch, but upgrading it with things like the bezel, maybe a crystal swap. I'd love to do a sapphire crystal swap on this watch, and I may try that on the channel at some point in time. I know that's a little bit more difficult than the bezel swap. I've watched a ton of videos on it, so I'm willing to give it a try. I do have a watchmaker that can bail me out if I get in trouble in the area here. Now, the one thing that's making me a little bit nervous here, I mentioned Random Rob earlier, and I've been watching a lot of his mod videos over the last few months, and I watched pretty much all of his videos, but the very last video I watched happened to be a bezel install fail, and I think he had problems with 2 bezels, so he's making me a little bit nervous now. I'm going to attempt to put the bezel on by hand, so hopefully we can get that on by hand and avoid the crystal press. Alright, so this one has been around the block and there's quite a few battle wounds. I'm not particularly worried about scratching it any more than it already is, but I will, just for the sake of the video, tape it up here just a little bit with some painter's tape. And at some point somebody told me, or I saw in a video, the best spot was to pry from this particular lug sort of towards the middle at the 30-minute mark. So I was successful with it the last time, so I'm just going to tape off that one lug and sort of use that as my spot to pry from and see if we can get it in there. And it popped very easily, actually. And we have, I believe, I saw Random Rob calling it a click spring in there. I'm going to just leave that in place for the moment, get rid of the tape, and I'm going to just inspect this a little bit closer to make sure it's fairly clean. Alright, so I know every single step of the way here, literally I'm probably making mistakes. So if you guys have any pointers or any things that I could have done differently, I would love to hear them in the comments below. I'm going to try to squeeze this on here on camera, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Nope, hang on. Okay, so phew, it was a success. My technique, not what the pros would probably do, but I basically just held it between my palms here and squeezed, snapped on, and working like a charm. I actually feel kind of lucky that this is working as good as it is. The bezel action is actually a little bit better than the original SKX bezel. So next step is going to be to put the adhesive on the insert. I talked to Carlos. A few people have assumed that this was the insert, this white backing. That is not the case. So if you get one of these, they will come with these little 3M adhesives. You can also use contact cement or something like that, but I'm going to try the adhesives. I'm not going to do it on camera. I know it's going to be a little bit tricky, so I'll come back once the adhesive is on. Alright, so another success. I'm kind of surprising myself here. I wasn't thinking this was going to be that easy. We're not obviously done quite yet, but so I'm just going to take my probably my little Bergion tool here and peel off that bit of paper to get the adhesive exposed and apply this to the bezel. And this is going to be another step. If I was doing this on a more regular basis, I'd probably attempt this on camera, but I want to make sure the alignment is good. So I'm going to do that off camera as well and be right back. All right, so I think I've got the alignment pretty well spot on. It's better than what the original was. Let's give it a spin here. And we are bang on. You know what? I was totally expecting some sort of failure along the line, but it's really thanks due to some of the other YouTube guys out there. I've watched so many videos on guys playing around with mods and stuff. I know this is a very simple mod, but for me, it's something that I just hadn't attempted. So I'm really happy with it. I also have, I've shown these on the channel before, these Skinks straps. So I'm going to pop it on the Skinks and we'll give it a quick wrist shot. All right, so here it is, and I am ecstatic how this turned out. That coin edge bezel just takes it to a whole other level. I love the sheen that you get off of the Sapphire insert. And the other thing I love is the fact that I don't have to put a big fail in the thumbnail of the video. I can totally see how people can get really into modding watches. Again, this was very simple, but this was one of the most fun videos I've put together in quite a while. I have to say big thanks to Carlos from LCBI for sending out the inserts and bezels. It's really, really appreciated. Just dawned on me, I haven't given you guys a loom shot, so I'll throw up some loom shots at the end of the video. Really appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.